Now, I saw this movie with my best friend tonight, and she loves movies just as much as me. And when the credits started for this movie, me and her just sat there and just stared at the screen. And I had a tear go down my face because the ending of this movie struck me so hard because at the very beginning, I didn't know what to think about this movie. And by the end of it, I don't know what to say. Babylon stars Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt, and Diego Calva, and is about the rise and fall of multiple characters during an era of unbridled and decadent depravity in the early Hollywood 1920s. From director Damien Chazelle, who gave us Whiplash, La La Land, and First Man, and I will say this right now, Whiplash is a damn good movie, and La La Land, it's honestly a cult classic in just film history, if you ask me, for musicals in that category. So when this movie got announced, the excitement was there. The cast alone got me excited, but then when you add Damien Chazelle after coming off First Man, I was like, listen, he's gonna do whatever he wants. I will be there to see it because Damien Chazelle just loves old filmmaking styles. He likes taking the camera and spinning it. He likes incorporating just these beautiful scores and music notes in his movie. He's seriously becoming one of those directors. When he makes a movie, I'm there. And like I said, Babylon has been talked about for like a year now. And when I saw that first trailer, I said, this is Wolf of Wall Street. This is Wolf of Wall Street. It's literally Hollywoodized Wolf of Wall Street, and I love Wolf of Wall Street. That is a great comedy, one of my favorites. So with this movie, I was all in. And the first 30 minutes of this movie, first 25 minutes, I was sitting there saying, this is horrible. I'm not even kidding you guys. The first 25 minutes is a complete energized party scene. And then once that title pops up at the 30-minute mark, from that point forward, it got better and better and better. The biggest praise is Margot Robbie. She is definitely going to be a frontrunner to win Best Actress this year. I honestly might have to say she's gonna win it. She's outstanding, like out of this world. Like this is her movie, her character, her story arc. Being in the silent film eras and in 1927 when the jazz singer comes out, that changed Hollywood forever, and her character is a great example of how it changed. She does an amazing job with the small moments and the really big moments, and when you see this movie, you know the monologue she does at a party scene. She is going to possibly win Best Actress. Brad Pitt, another character who I love his story arc. Brad Pitt, if he won it for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he deserves to be at least nominated for this movie. He is amazing in this movie, and his character is so interesting. I don't want to spoil the end of this movie about his character, but it's such an intriguing aspect of 1920s and 1930s Hollywood. And I'm telling you, when talkies started to happen, everything changed. Everything changed. And then Diego Lava, which I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, I don't know if I'm going to give him a Best Actor nom, but he's damn good in this movie. He's like our leading man that we follow because this entire 3-hour movie is crazy. And these three characters have their own problems, and you get to see the rise and fall for these characters. And I was on board once that title pops up because Damien Chazelle, the blocking, the cinematography in this movie, and shooting on film, beautiful. Seriously, all these categories, editing, it better damn be sure nominated for score. The score in this movie, especially that ending, we'll get to in a second, but the score, the costumes, the makeup, everything technical in this movie should be nominated because there are scenes in this movie that he does his famous like twist and turn camera, which made me dizzy because of motion sickness. But man, I as a person that literally wants to be a director, as a person that just did a class learning about 1920s to 1960s movies, this movie was up my alley, and I was loving it. And I don't even want to talk about all the little characters. There's one character who's a musician. He's a very small character, but he's a good guy, and he goes through something that is very horrible. It talks about racism. It talks about people liking the same sex in this movie. It talks about how when Hollywood system changes, the world changes in Hollywood, and the movie depicts that perfectly. And I will say, once Tobey Maguire shows up, his sequence alone is out of this world frightening, and that's all I'm gonna say. Tobey Maguire, for the one little sequence he's in, He is so good. And when you see the movie, that entire section of this movie is bonkers, and I had no idea I was gonna see stuff in this movie, because this movie is a hard R. You see a lot in this movie, and like I said, that first 20 minutes, I mean, you see elephant asshole pooping, you see women pee on men, you get dicks, vaginas, boobs, all of it, blood, vomit. It is in this movie. Everything's in this movie, and sometimes it felt a little too vulgar. Like seeing a woman pee on a man's face, I didn't need to see that. Some of these party scenes, the first 20 minutes, the editing was crazy. There are some editing first shots in this movie. The scene where Margot Robbie meets Diego Calva for the first time, horrible editing. Horrible editing. There's a shot where she's talking to him and you hear his voice and it's cutting back and forth between her face covering his face, and it's like a quick second shot. It was bad editing, a bad shot, and I was like, that is horrible. And like I said, that first 20 minutes, there was good comedic humor, but I was like, what is this movie right now? But it's giving you that energy. It's trying to get you ready for the craziness of the movie. And then once the title pops up, the story arc just gets interesting. The characters, the story, and like I said, this ending. To my film lovers, people that love old 1920s, 1930 films in general, I cried. I literally had a tear in my eye. I can't tell you how good this ending was as a film lover. Seeing a certain thing on this screen, many things, once you see it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was beautiful. Beautiful. As a person that wants to make movies, that was beautiful to me. And it hit me so hard. So hard. I literally had goosebumps. Me and my friend grabbed each other. We're like, oh my god. But like I said, this whole movie, 3 hours long. It's really funny. It's really definitely R-rated. But hey, after that first 20 minutes, I couldn't stop watching this movie. And for me, 3 hours flew by. Babylon is one of my favorite movie theater experiences. I cannot wait to see it again. I loved it. I'm gonna give Babylon an A. And what's kind of funny is I did tweet out saying people are going to love this movie and hate this movie because this movie has a lot of stuff in 3 hours, and some people are going to say it's extra baggage. I just think it adds to the entertainment value and just the craziness of this movie. Wolf of Wall Street does the same thing, and I love that movie, and I love this movie, watching it too. But I saw the Rotten Tomatoes was like a 50%. I was like, wow. Like, actually, wow. People are hating this movie. Top 5 of the year. Whew. And with that being said, this is my last review of the year, and next up is my best and worst. That'll come out in the next couple days. Please enjoy your holidays. Merry Christmas, everyone, and I hope you guys have a great Christmas. Love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye, everyone.